feel about it, but maybe he can change my mind.
Yeah, it was kind of like the secret off-meta deck of the World Championships. There was a pair of players using it in top 8 of the event. Liam also played it to the World Championships, but didn't quite reach the full potential of what the deck was capable of. But he's starting off excellently here at 7-0, and he'll be going up against Rahul Reddy on the other side of the table. Rahul just a week removed from a top 8 finish at the Monterey Regional Championships, where at that event he was playing Terrabox, but here he's switched up quite a bit. He's going with the Gardevoird.
Yeah, and he's got some great rarities in that deck, as we see. He's been known to flex a little bit as he's been traveling around the world playing Pokemon for so long. These prize cards, man. This, Liam, that box could be anything.
The secret box in the prizes, the Cleffa in the prizes as well for Liam. That's awkward. But then for Rahul, the Streamtail, that's annoying. A Monkey Dory being down. He only plays 3 in this list, not the 4 we see every once in a while. And a Gardevoird EX and a Rare Candy. Kind of awkward things for both of these players to navigate. And also, one of in Rahul's deck in the prizes as well, that Air Balloon.
Yeah, and we know the importance of that. We talked to...
or Bravery Charm, excuse me.
Okay, yes. Well, that can also be a pretty interesting inclusion here, too, as you try to preserve those hit points as you're moving through. This is something that we'll have to look out for as we move into this game, and it is moving quick. Liam, starting things off here. Buddy Poffin.
Yeah, we are in for a treat in this one. Both of these players are extremely skilled, but also both these players pretty efficient with their decision-making, I would say. I always enjoy watching both of their games. They kind of like to move and groove through the deck. Liam here, of course, will take a moment to check his prize cards quickly off of this Buddy Poffin. He has started a Toad School, not the best starter, and really not the best in this matchup. I guess the Toad School can still slow things down by limiting some Night Stretchers, but in this build of Gardevoird, who is only playing 2 Night Stretchers as opposed to the 4 we see from time to time.
Yeah, doesn't line up as well, but you might be able to surprise your opponent if you want to go down that avenue. We saw, I believe, the Toad Scroll in the prizes, so it might just be a wasted bench space here for the future, but what isn't going to be wasted is this Buddy Poffin into multiple Zorua with the follow-up of a second Buddy Poffin chip.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it does not get much better than this. This is why you're 7-0.
Turn 1 going first, this is definitely the dream. Just fill your board with your Zoruas, get whatever you want established into play, and start swinging. So there's been many builds of the Zoroark deck over the last 6 months or so, ever since the release of the card. We've seen that Darmanitan get into the mix, but we don't see it featured in this list here. For the uninformed Kyle, fill us in. What's the game plan here in general for Liam?
Yeah, well, if you were familiar with the Darmanitan style, it was really susceptible to losing out on that Pokemon. The benching got awkward. If there was ever a way to knock out that Pokemon, you just run out of a lot of resources. Instead, focus on the hit points of your Zoroark and lean into that Reshiram. Both of these attacks very helpful in different matchups. If your opponent cannot take a one-hit KO, Powerful Rage will build up, stack onto your Zoroark as opposed to this Reshiram, and you have that damage to work with. Other than that, 170 is the name of the game.
The second Buddy Poffin is being played. Only one Zorua able to be found. There is a Zorua in the prize cards, and also the Cleffa as well, the other optional target there. I don't think that Liam wants to fill that bench spot with another Toad School, so he'll settle for just the 3 Zorua.
Yep, a little bit of information to pass on to Rahul, and he's taking all the notes he can in his mind. As this is a matchup you need to be concerned about. It can go the wrong way for you fairly quickly. Zoroark attacking into the Gardevoird, that dark weakness can be tricky. And just seeing those prize cards fall early on in the game, if the trades start to build up, Liam will see endless attacks for the duration of the game.
Rahul's going to kick off his turn with a Nest Ball, searching his deck for any basic Pokemon, putting it directly into play. It will be Ralts found, brought down immediately. Looks like he's already got a Monkey Dory in hand and also an Artisan, but the Artisan is going to get discarded with an Ultra Ball, getting rid of that Gold Stadium card and also a Darkness Energy.
Yeah, Artisan, as nice as it can be to help you set up your board, you don't want to give too much help over to Liam at this point. You know, he is just missing out on that one final piece of an Ends Reshiram to get the job done. And you can get away with just the Ralts and the Frillish here. Maybe even some item locking or something like that would be enough to slow things down for an additional turn.
It does look like the Frillish will be eyed up as an option. Does look like another Frillish was found from the restart. That's pretty nice. And Iono sending both players' hands to the bottom here on the first turn. They will each get 6 cards. Rahul just looking for a basic Psychic Energy, but Kyle, I don't see one.
So it's going to be one of those games, is it?
Retreat into Frillish and pass. Now, talk to me about how Rahul wants to set up and navigate this situation. Obviously, Liam playing a dark deck. All of Rahul's attackers are weak to dark. What's his move going to be?
You're kind of back on the same path that we've seen with other decks, where you have to lean into some of these suboptimal attacks, the mind bends and working in the confusions. However, you need to be considerate of the fact that Liam can move around his Pokemon fairly quickly if he has the right tools. We've seen some players leaning on the Ends Castle. However, I don't think that this is the style we're seeing. It's just the Air Balloons this time around.
He's got the Air Balloons. He does have that Pecharunt EX. That would be his main way to get that movement. But yeah, no Ends Castle. Opting for the Team Rocket's Watchtower. Now, that was a card that when it got revealed, I think a lot of players were really scared of, and it's really not had a huge impact on the standard format just yet. But Liam has found a place for it here in this metagame. Not in this matchup, it won't be useful, but interesting to see for the weekend, right?
Yeah, and maybe even just as a counter stadium every once in a while, that can be enough to help out. But
oh,
that's not a turn.
Artisan for Reshiram and pass. Yeah, that is not a turn. Not what Liam wants to do. He wasn't even item locked, and he still couldn't do anything. No Zoroark, no Cyrano, which he plays 3 copies of to get a bunch of Zoroark EX into play.
Oh, and look at this!
Research from Rahul. We have seen so many of these games from players today.
You just have the Iono, and you know that you probably should, but then your opponent just plays this kind of turn, and you just have to throw resources and giddy up, and
yeah,
it's going to work out in this spot. He has the Earthen Vessel. He's finding the resources now. He can put that item lock down if he wants to. It might not matter, but you have definitely some attacks lined up for the following turn.
There's a Monkey Dory coming down from the Artisan. We will see the Oceanic Gloom, 20 damage, and now Liam unable to play any of those item cards in his deck. Nope. Oh, okay, he's trading it away.
That is a way to use it.
I didn't see the Zoroark come into play. He must have top decked that for turn and immediately able to get rid of that Buddy Poff in a card he's unable to use.
Well, you did mention these players can play quick, so we'll give you an excuse there on that Zoroark.
How dare me look down at the deck list for 1 second and then look back up and see a Buddy Poffin flying through the air.
Well, when you think of other ways to work in this matchup, and it's just so hard to target down Pokemon like this Ends Reshiram. You can work on Scream Tailing, removing it from play, but there's just so much refill. The 2 Super Rods, the Night Stretcher, this Pokemon can come back up, and it has to, because it is the only attack that you use the entirety of a game.
We will see the damage being moved over from the Oceanic Gloom. Liam debating where to place it. Wherever he places it, he has to know it's going to be bounced right back over by Rahul, so I honestly wonder if he shouldn't even move the damage over. It just gives Rahul more options.
No, that's a great point. It's, you're not getting very far with it, and I suppose Curlia, sure, why not?
That's a pretty good find for Rahul here. Secret Box will be able to discard 3 cards from hand, and now he's able to search his deck for one of each differing type of trainer card, 1 item card, 1 Pokemon tool, 1 supporter card, and 1 stadium. That air balloon is found as the tool card. Looks like Earthen Vessel to get some more energies down is eyed up as well. For his supporter, Arvin is being brought to the front. What do you think he'd like to do here? So he's got Jellicent in hand. He could start swinging, get that lock up, but he knows that there's a Zoroark on the bench. What's his move?
Right, it doesn't get you very far. You're just removing a Pokemon that your opponent already wants moved. They don't mind giving up a prize card in that instance, so Jellicent doesn't line up great. It seems like if you were to try to take this knockout, you'd want to do it where you could move the damage, but that's what Monkey Dory on the other side avoids, is it can push the damage back around, and then you don't have that 60 to push over and then clean this Pokemon up. So I guess that's what we're looking for at this point, is if you were able to set up a turn with double Monkey Dory, you could knock out the Toadstool and then cash in on a big Jellicent attack. Maybe not feel as bad about walking into a Zoroark, but do you even have time for that?
Gardevoird EX does come into play. Ultra Ball will get rid of a couple of Psychic Energy cards. Pheasantipede EX brought to the hand. That'll be a nice response if Liam does take a KO this turn. And Rahul's got that Jellicent up in the active spot. It's Oceanic Curse. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent can't play any item cards or Pokemon tool cards from their hand. Then Power Press deals that base of 80. If you do have 2 more energy attached to it, it's 80 more damage, but not going to be relevant when it comes to KOing this little Toadstool.
And then considerations here for Rahul of, if you are to attack with this Pokemon, it doesn't only leave the Jellicent susceptible, it also could lead to a Gardevoird if there's a boss's orders. So have enough energies in play to where you feel good about this buying you enough time to restart and have a new Ralts in play.
Oh, and this is really interesting for Rahul. Will move the damage over with the Monkey Dory and chooses to pass.
Yeah, and that's what I was speaking on previously, is with a Pokemon like Toadstool, 60 hit points is great for you. You can have those 3 energies accelerated, move with the Monkey Dory, push 30 over 30 again, and then try to clean up this and attack into another Pokemon. Maybe pick something nicer on this board to remove.
Hilda being played by Liam, searching the deck for an evolution Pokemon and an energy card. Will grab out another in Zoroark EX, trade online, discards a Buddy Poff, and trade once again, gets rid of that Rocket's Watchtower.
Find an item, find a useless card, just continue to burn through everything you don't want to see later on. Have the energies available. 30 damage, not relevant, as we see the Monkey Dory there too, so push that right back over to the Gardevoird. And then you don't have a way to move just yet, so just wait another turn.
Yeah, has the air balloon, but cannot play it thanks to Oceanic Curse of the Jellicent. Now over to Rahul. He knows that Zoroark is lined up. He knows that it's pretty likely that Liam can find a basic dart to retreat this active Toadstool this next turn. So what does he do? What is the move? Does he start swinging, put on the pressure, try to stream together a couple of Jellicent EX? Does he retreat into a Monkey Dory and take a Mind Bend KO as a 1-prize Pokemon? He's got options. Which is he going to go with?
Right, he has the energies with just the retreat of the Jellicent, but then he has to decide, is the Monkey Dory enough to commit to? Could your opponent throw you off by promoting something you're not expecting after the KO on the Toadstool?
Okay, with the 50 damage on the Gardevoird EX, he actually could retreat into Frillish and get the KO on this Toadstool, moving the damage over with the Monkey Dory. I think that's exactly what we're going to see him do here. It's kind of a cat and mouse game for these players. Who's going to strike first? Who's going to make something happen first?
Yeah, and this is also nice to see from Rahul, as once more, you are at risk. Your opponent could have the answer. Just that boss's orders takes the KO on the Gardevoird, so have an answer, something that can attack, soften the blow, and buy you some time. And even the consideration to move the damage off the Jellicent as opposed to the Gardevoird here, because he knows Gardevoird is the likely one to target anyways.
So he's just going to leave this Toadstool active. He's going to force Liam to find the way to retreat this Pokemon. Just hits it for the 20 with the Oceanic Gloom. Now, Liam can play his Air Balloon now. The Oceanic Curse ability of Jellicent limits tool cards, but the Oceanic Gloom attack of Frillish does not.
Well, a little unfortunate of his ordering then for him, as that card no longer available. But he does have the Turo, and we saw it drawn off the trade, so he can bring that Pokemon up, has the Reshiram now, and it's going to wait a little longer. Has the answers that he needs with the Zoroarks. He's just going to buy time.
Wow.
If there's 2 Monkey Dory waiting for you, have 2 Monkey Dory waiting for your opponent, just push the damage back.
Yeah, what an interesting game that we're seeing play out now for both of these players. Just happy to kind of hide behind their Pokemon and start to build up damage on the opponent's side of the field. Liam not wanting to be the aggressor here, not wanting to be the first one to strike, activating Rahul's counter card options, the counter catcher being the main one, and not wanting to get himself limited by an Iono potentially.
I mean, it's brilliant against Gardevoird, which you know does not have boss's orders.
Right.
There's no bench space for a Scream Tail. There's no way to work around the damage that has to go into this Ends Reshiram, which means you're giving your opponent that first activation of Counter Catcher. What's the only answer you have to that? Continue to keep item lock in place.
So does Rahul say, I'm tired of waiting, I'm just going to start swinging and get out of this lock? No, just 80 damage.
Okay, he's going to take it.
Oh, it is going to be, okay, yeah, but does have that 4th energy, so that will be the KO onto the active, and Liam happy to send up that Zoroark EX.
He's been waiting for this. This is where you feel the most comfortable. However, the one spot that he does have is, I have not seen the boss's orders yet. Oh, it now looks like it is there in the hand now. So
he does have it, so I'll have his pick. Does he KO the Jellicent? Does he KO the Gardevoird EX? And I think whenever your opponent on the Gardevoird side of the field does not have another Ralts or Curlia in play, getting rid of Gardevoird seems pretty strong.
Yep, and then there's a debate of what you do with the damage on your side of the board. Double Monkey Door, you could push the damage over to Frillish and just take the prize card. It doesn't seem the cleanest, but leaving as little damage on board for your opponent to play with seems optimal.
Yeah, you could even just push it to the active Gardevoird, to be honest, to make sure that there's no damage in play for Rahul to play with besides the 30 that is left on this Jellicent EX.
Yep, you're not removing the free retreater with the air balloon as there's already the Mew there, so maybe if that prize card isn't helpful for you, just take the 2 prizes as opposed to the 3.
Yeah, I think taking an odd prize here does seem fine because Liam can sneak in a 1 prize KO on a Ralts. I mean, this is setting up extremely nicely here for Liam, and he is going to take that single prize KO, does take that Zoroark off of the prizes, and Knight Joker copies the attack of the Ends Reshiram Virtuous Flame, 1-hit KO onto the Dark Weak Gardevoird EX.
This is where Jellicent just does not feel like enough.
No.
It is an amazing ability, but this attack is very lackluster. For 4 energies, you feel like you should be dealing a lot more damage.
Yep.
Maybe even able to work in knockouts with the Monkey Dories that you have access to. But this is where he's at, just attacking into the Ends Reshiram, hoping there's no way to bring this Pokemon back. We know there's plenty of resources there, but it's the item lock enough to slow that down.
And I think that's what Rahul is hoping for, as we do see Night Stretcher hit the hand, but Liam is unable to play it. He does play 2 boss's orders. One was just played on the last turn. But he's going to need to find another one if he wants to get an Ends Reshiram, because otherwise he's just going to be using Night Joker to copy Night Joker, and that doesn't do very much.
Yeah, you're running out of attackers at this point then. Boss's orders is found. That activates some of these items, and that might be the best one.
Yeah, Secret Box discards 3 cards, and I think as Liam, the main thing he's looking to do is get both of his Ends Reshiram back and available. And that is exactly what we'll see with the Super Rod. He can Super Rod both of those cards back in, so even if Rahul was to boss KO again, or Counter Catcher KO, I should say, he'll have access to the last one to take his final prize card. Liam's moving quickly because this game is all but over in his favor, unless Rahul can find some cheeky way to fight back.
Right, and for Rahul, you look at the deck size there, only 3 to 4 cards remaining there for Liam. Liam might have a way to shuffle back in with the Iono to restock the deck at this point, but with the Pal Pad for the boss's orders, you know that Jellicent is not going to make the impact it needs to.
Yeah, I don't think that there is a win condition for Rahul anymore. Does Liam still have? Yeah, he's got Turo in hand, so Rahul can't even boss his orders the Ends Reshiram and try to stick it with the Jellicent active to limit the air balloon. So yeah, this is going to be a tough one here for Rahul, but Liam is flying through this situation. It looks like Rahul is going to have to rely on Monkey Dory's Mind Bend and hope that somehow Liam does not draw any of the 2 boss's orders that he just put back into the deck when he's got 3 Zoroark in play.
Yeah, yep, that makes it a little trickier. When you try to rely on your opponent missing on anything in this situation, Confusion doesn't do what you need it to do. Item Lock doesn't do anything with the boss's orders. It's just a retreat over Ends Zoroark, boss's orders, Mew, it is over. Yeah,
Liam just slamming the energy, showing he's got it. Plenty of cards left in deck for him to get through with trade. Guaranteed way to find the boss's orders. Liam Halliburton gets the winning game 1 and going to send us to a game 2. That was a super convincing game for Liam.
That was masterclass stuff. The play to pick up and find the second Monkey Dory, just an understanding of this matchup, and it speaks back to our previous game, that perfect information. You know exactly what you're up against with Rahul, and you can play around everything from his deck. Rahul had to play fair Pokemon. Liam did not.
Let's take a look at Game 1's replay, and it was a pretty slow start for both of these players. That Toad School stalled things out for Liam early game, but once Rahul took the first KO, he never got an opportunity to take another. Liam went off to the races.
Yeah, and a little bit of an issue with the way that the board was set up for Rahul. He had to commit onto this singular Gardevoird, which led him susceptible. He could never set up another Gardevoird from that point forward, losing piece after piece, trying to put on enough pressure with either Monkey Dory or the Jellicents, but it's just not enough when you're fighting against this weakness. He did find some really unique plays, trying to target down on some of the weaknesses of Liam, but Liam, he had every answer.
This matchup does seem tough for Rahul after seeing things play out. The Gardevoird deck typically likes to play a long, slow, grindy game and find a way to piece it all together in the last couple of turns to come out on top. In this matchup, that may not be an option for Rahul. I wonder if he has to pivot strategies, and if we have to see him just be aggressive.
Yeah, this could be the candy into Gardevoird, use Scream Tail, and rip into Ends Zorua as often as possible. This is the hand that gets it done for you, though. Look at Liam's side, and look at Rahul. He's got a pink card, and there's 2 Zorua in the prize cards.
2 Zorua and boss's orders, all very key cards in that last game, and Rahul opens up with his Secret Box A-Spec and has the Air Balloon, has a Frillish. This is a guaranteed turn 1 item lock, and Liam only has a Pheasantipity EX in play.
Yeah, there's just nothing to work with on that side. You can use the Frillish. You could even use the Team Evolution if you wanted to, but if you have access to these cards, you might as well lock in the items. Try to find the big response here. If you have the Gardevoird on the following turn, the game's going to end.
And Rahul does not even take a supporter card off of the Secret Box because he's got Research in hand to dump the hand, draw 7 fresh new cards, does find himself another Ralts. There's a Rare Candy in the hand as well. We could see him get aggressive on the next turn. Does Liam have a supporter to work with? Draw for turn, it's Maractus. Professor Turo's scenario.
Wrong Professor.
Just a pass over to Rahul now, finds an Earthen Vessel from the top. There is the Rare Candy. I don't think he's got a way to get a Gardevoird. So he's going to still have to keep it slow, but he's fine to do that now with Oceanic Glow totally slowing Liam down, and Liam just having nothing else to work with as well.
Yeah, not enough cards to thin down, use the Mew, and just take the 1 energy and draw up, trying to find an answer. Instead, has to just fly through once more, loses a candy, but he has the Curlia, so he feels very comfortable that next turn he can get the ball rolling, keep the item lock in place here now.
Very comfortable indeed. Draw for turn from Liam is a Cyrano. No, it's the Rocket's Watchtower. That's not going to do anything here, shutting down the abilities of colorless Pokemon. Rahul draws an Arven for turn. He's got Ultra Ball, he's got Psychic Energy.
At what point have you had too much? It's about to flip over at this point. The Arven, the energies are all there. Gardevoird could attack in and take the KO if you need to.
If he gets, I guess actually, if he gets Jellicent here, he can KO this active Pheasantipity and keep the item lock up, and that is going to line up really, really well for him. He's got enough energy in the discard pile. He just needs to make sure he can get 4 energy total onto Jellicent, and Liam sees the writing on the wall, concedes the game. We're going to game 3 with 28 minutes left, Kyle.
This is my favorite way to close out a set. Both players, great understanding of what is happening and what you need to do. Liam, you have a great matchup ahead of you. If the cards aren't rolling your way, throw them. Just try again. You'll find a better hand. You have to find a better hand.
You have to think, right?
I don't know if it gets much worse than that, man.
Double Turo, Pressure Ram.
Tiffany start, like,
he drew Maractus.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, well, not what Liam wants to see, but with the quick concession there, he knows he's going to have plenty of time for this third game. And that's what I was talking about with these two players. They both know what's up, right? They're not going to drag things out super long. Both their prize checks were very efficient, very quick. And once they were ready to make moves, they were flying through the deck. So I expect no less here in this third game. I am glad we're not going to recap that game for any goldfish that might be out there that have forgotten what happened in the last 60 seconds, because it is time to get into game 3 of this set.
Yeah, Slowpoke gamers are struggling to keep up. This is a flying game with over half of the time remaining here still. We are in game 3. Who will be 8-0 to end out phase 1? Maybe work on that first phase 2 win here at the end of the night.
A fist bump, the draw for turn. We are kicking things off here in game 3. Rahul is going to be going first, does start a Ralts, has a Frillish on the top deck, attachment of a Darkness Energy for turn, and a Nest Ball, searching the deck for any basic Pokemon to get it right into play.
Yeah, you don't need much as Rahul. You're looking for a decent setup, but the 1 copy of the Jellicent there in the prize cards, not your favorite answer. It's if you enjoyed the item lock, you're not going to have access to that. It's just the Frillish for the rest of the game.
Yeah, one of his 2 Counter Catcher being prized, also one of his 2 Rare Candy being prized. These are all nice resources to have at specific times, but those actually could be ones that are nice to take as prize cards as the game continues. Just an attachment of the Dark for turn and kicking it over to Liam. Rahul, not pumped to see that turn 1 Buddy Poffin, as Liam will be able to get a solid setup going, and he's even got that Cleffa in the active spot to get an Eek rolling.
Yeah, and we know how important this card can be. It is such a liability. It's awful to give up that prize card, but this deck likes to give up that prize card, and you might as well lean into that fact. You have the retreat, you have the draw, you can get through some of these bad starts, because once you have the end Zoroark in play, you don't have to worry about any draws for the rest of the game.
A pair of Enzorua being brought down, 1 Enzorua in the prize cards. Looks like a Counter Catcher and an Air Balloon, both copies that Liam plays 2 of in his list, so both not too big of a deal to have prizes as long as he can find the other ones when he needs them. See what else he's got working in his hand. He actually has one of the Air Balloon already. Could get that in play in order to get a little bit of draw power with the Cleffa, and that is always an interesting gambit to go with, right? Do I put this tool in play that could be better on something else in order to draw more cards with Eek? How worth it is it?
Right, and you know that you'll be susceptible. It's the pulling up of the Ends Reshiram, not having a way to move that Pokemon would be rough. So what do? You play the balloon on that Pokemon and already be ready. It's a pretty great play so that you can see more cards, because he did not have access to an Zoroark just yet.
I do have to apologize. I do believe I misspoke and called it Eek. It is not Eek. It is Grasping Draw from the Cleffa.
Too much cube, Chip.
I've been playing a little too much retro recently. Yes, not Eek. Many good Cleffas over the years, and they all have to do with drawing cards, and that is no different here, as Grasping Draw will find Liam 5 cards from the top.
Well, we'll see if Rahul eeks, as he sees his opponent see 5 fresh cards in a matchup he's not fairly comfortable in.
Not a bad start here for Rahul, though. Both Curlia being found, both being evolved right away, and a Iono. But does Rahul find a Psychic Energy? That is 2 games in this set where Rahul has been unable to go with the turn 2 Oceanic Gloom.
It's so unlucky, because he had a Dark Energy in the previous hand, too. So he had the Dark attachment, the Dark in the hand that went down with Iono, and then he finds just Dark. It doesn't make sense when you look at the counts, but here we are. Those were the 3 Dark Energies instead of any other one.
Yeah, no Psychic Energy found. There is an Earthen Vessel prize, but he does still have 2 more. Any of these cards being found at any point would have led to Rahul item locking Liam here, but instead Liam is going to be happy to have another turn to do whatever he wants. He could even get aggressive here and just start swinging.
Yeah, just a Hilda is enough. Sometimes you just need to find your first Zoroark to get the ball rolling. Use trade and then chain these together. We know how often one will find another and lead to a full board setup. It won't be a max board this time around with the prize cards. The 1 Zorua in the prizes there, but still feeling pretty comfortable and maybe even a little aggressive. It just depends on how you want to play this. But you have retreat, knockout on a Curlia right now. Is that the way you want to go?
Trade discards the Artisan, 2 cards being found. Looks like plenty of energy in the hand. There is a Monkey Dory, so we'll just take a turn to potentially get that established.
It's the previous play of game 1 was so great. You didn't need much. He's going to play around the item lock and just burn this card, get this down. But it is just a single copy of Monkey Dory this time.
There's Zoroark coming down the third one. We do know one is in the prize card, so that can lead to plenty of Zoroarks in future turns. And just an Eek. Only 2 cards found this time. No reason to get aggressive here. Liam is fine to play things slow. He knows he's favored here, so happy to take his time and just continue to get set up. Now over to Rahul. Uses Ultra Ball, gets rid of another Ultra Ball and an Arven. And does find a Gardevoird, so that is able to get established. Artisan finding any basic Pokemon from the deck, getting it into play. There is Monkey Dory.
Yeah, just one big thing missing on this side of the board, and it's in that discard pile, or lack thereof. Gardevoird does nothing without Psychic Energies. Those have still yet to be found. I don't know, trying to mitigate that issue here. Earthen Vessel, any way to discard would be very welcome. And he finds the other Dark Energy again.
Not the energy card he is looking for, but at least Earthen Vessel will yield him plenty of Psychic Energy, so still able to find a piece, find a way, but just 1 turn too late might have spelled disaster here for Rahul in this game. He will still be able to go into the Frillish, put a little pressure on, get that item lock rolling. Or will he go aggressive here?
I mean, I like retreating with this. You need to see that energy in the discard pile. You don't care much about the damage as it goes, but Monkey Dory pushing over and taking the KO on the Cleffa. It opens up for counter catcher if you could, because of Frillish locking out those items. But you've opened the bench space, and that Monkey Dory energy, that's a scary thing to think about.
Trade from Rahul gets rid of the Cyrano. There's another Zoroark. Trade gets rid of the Toadstool. That's 2 more cards. 2 items that he can't play right now. There's another Cyrano in the hand. Can find other in Zoroark. 3 EX Pokemon, adding them to the hand. It looks like Pheasantipity will be found as well. That's another piece that Liam could go with here in order to draw even more cards to continue to get more set up.
Yeah, I get a little more nervous about that Pokemon in play, but thankfully it's not the worst retreat cost on it, so finding that 1 energy to move around isn't bad, and ends Reshiram already protected with the balloon.
There's that third trade. 2 more cards. Energy cards lined up. He's got the Maractus in his list this weekend. That is interesting to see.
Yeah, it's once more, it just when you have access to a Pokemon like Monkey Dory, if you can lock something up for a little while and it's not able to take a 1-hit KO, you can just push damage over, buy whatever setup you need, and draw through until you feel comfortable, and then reestablish once more with Zoroark, copying whatever Reshiram attack you need.
Uses Artisan, searching the deck for a basic Pokemon. Looks like it will be the other Monkey Dory brought down. Yeah, when is the time to start attacking? That is the question here. He's got a Darkness Energy in hand. Could just slap it on a Monkey Dory once again. Maybe let Rahul get a little damage in play with his Frillish. I think Liam is fine with that trade-off. Or is it time to just go in, start swinging, take attacks, take prize cards? He is going to attach to Monkey Dory. That is yet another turn with no attacks. He's going to retreat into a Zoroark here. That is something he's considering.
Yeah, it's tough to say. You have a decent amount of hit points on your Reshiram where you feel okay with this Pokemon remaining in the active spot. The only thing slowing you down right now is the item lock, and we know that it's just the Frillish. Jellicent no longer an option with it being in the prizes. It'll be Monkey Dory moved up to the active there.
Just giving himself the potential for more damage to be put in play. You know, if Rahul goes for the Oceanic Gloom, he'll be able to Adrenaline Brain, then retreat, start attacking maybe. Just happy to play this passively, which is very interesting. Rahul now, see if he can find a way to capitalize on the slow turn from Liam, the lack of aggression, the lack of attacking. And I really don't know if there is a way for him to capitalize on the lack of aggression.
Yeah, I mean, if there ever was a way, it would include the fact that you have that extra Dark Energy, the final Dark Energy for that Monkey Dory, but he has yet to find a way to get these Psychic Energies in the discard pile. It's just the 1 copy right now, and again, he finds Earthen Vessel and no way to discard energies.
Yeah, you can get those Psychic Energies, but I mean, he's really feeling the loss of Refinement Curlia those formats ago, right?
Why do you get to trade, not me?
Yeah, I remember the days. Searching the deck here. Looks like off the Artisan is going to take yet another Monkey Dory. So that is going to be the full board of Pokemon for Rahul. It's 5 Pokemon on the bench, 1 into the active spots, but still just no real options. Just, goes for the Oceanic Gloom. And now it's over to Liam. Asks to see the discard pile, check out what Rahul has played. Bunch of supporter cards, not too much else, and yes, no Psychic Energy. Probably the main thing Liam was checking for there. Now, with 3 trades available with the Darkness Energy, is now the time where we can start attacking? I don't know how these players have this much self-control.
Right.
I'm getting in there.
I think this is a spot where Liam was thinking it'd be a lot more difficult to find the other Dark Energy in Monkey Dory. I would have a way to move more damage over, and then maybe I could clear out the Frillish and then take my knockout on something more relevant, force the aggression over. But instead, he's still waiting to find the boss's orders to get the job done as he's staring down this Frillish.
There's the energy on the Zoroark. Come on, Liam, you can do it. Retreat that Monkey Dory. Start attacking, I believe. Oh, it's time, Kyle. No, it's not. Is it time?
He's got plenty of time. That's the beauty of scooping up that 1 game. 16 minutes remaining here as he does promote the Zoroark. He is ready to giddy up here.
I don't really understand doing this versus just attacking last turn. I don't really think it changed much of anything.
No.
So, yeah, I guess maybe he's waiting for boss. Is that what it is? He's waiting for boss on Gardevoird?
Well, that was the piece I didn't know if we had in hand just yet. And
got it.
Thankfully, it has been flashed. It is knockout on Gardevoird, and that is what you always want to see with this attack. Tried his best, did Rahul, with the locking and the Frillish, trying to stop the items of the counter catcher, but could not stop the boss. Those 2 prize cards hurt.
Rahul does have another Curlia to evolve into Gardevoird right away, and there is the Gardevoird actually already in the hand. Now, the problem for Rahul is if he has to be a little worried about putting this Gardevoird in play and just having it get bossed again.
Right, and it's an unfortunate thing that he has to continue to play into at this point is he needs to accelerate energies. He needs to get the ball rolling here. But what answer do you really have at this point? If you attack into the Zoroark, you're leaving a ton of damage for the Ends Reshiram attacks to lean into with the powerful Rage. If you're just going to lean into Confusion, you could see Ends PP up along with an Energy, retreats, and there's a knockout waiting on another big attack. It's just, there's so much to think about here.
Weighing all the options. Many of them have slim chances of victory, it seems like, for Rahul in this matchup. This matchup just seems really, really, really tough. It's 2 games in a row for us, Kyle, where we've had a Darkness deck just really having a good time against the Gardevoird player.
Yeah, it's a unique way to do it, too. This is a deck that has one attacker to lean into, other than Maractus, that it can use the attacks of. But sure enough, that is enough. Ends Reshiram being copied over and over again. If you can draw with trade, it's enough of an engine to keep up with a lot of decks.
Rahul did find Counter Catcher, so he'll try to stick a Zoroark in the active spot and hope that that's going to be enough. I think at this point now, he knows Liam does not have the Ends Watchtower in order to, not Ends Watchtower, the Ends Tower in order to get free retreat. He just has that Rockets Tower.
Yeah, he's got the castle, it would be. But castle. Yeah, this is a spot where he's almost got the puzzle figured out. He doesn't have the air balloon. He doesn't have a way to move energies because of the item lock.
If only Liam
still have to worry about that professor guy.
Yeah, which Liam does play 2 copies of, and he has an absolute book of cards in his hand. He has 3 Ends Zoroark in play to trade. He's got that Turo lined up in the hand. We'll trade away another Hilda.
He's seen so many cards.
Yep.
You have to think that eventually it'll be found. If not now, then another turn here fairly soon. Only 20 damage on the Zoroark. Boss's orders is thrown into the hand, but I mean, Rahul may have bought a turn, but what do you do with that turn?
Yeah, he's got the Turo in hand, so Liam could pick it up the Zoroark if he wants to. I do wonder, though, if he doesn't want to, and if he'll be content to wait like he did in the last game. Wait for a turn where he can boss plus KO the Gardevoird, and that may be what we're seeing right now.
And I don't mind keeping the damage on this side of the board either.
Sure.
It doesn't make sense with Monkey Dory to push it over. You see your opponent's clearly prepared for that with triple Monkey Dory. Force it to be Gardevoir's Psychic Embrace, pushing enough damage over to try to clear up an energy-less Zoroark. That's a great place for you.
Arvin played for Rahul after a rare candy into a Gardevoird. This will find him any item card, any tool card he wants. Looks like Secret Box will be levied here. There is that Bravery Charm as well. Has Technical Machine Devolution, so if Rahul can navigate himself to a position where there's enough damage in play on a bunch of Zoroark EX, a TM Devo board wipe is an option, but with a couple Monkey Dory in play, it seems pretty unlikely that that's ever going to be a real threat.
Yeah.
This is just looking really difficult for Rahul to navigate. I mean, Liam is not feeling pressured to do anything at all. He gets to sit back and wait for his totally optimal turn and then pounce.
Right. I mean, we're Professor Turo away from all of this damage being irrelevant, all the turns being bought, gone, and you think back to that play, maybe if you have the Jellicent, then you can work on the TM Devolution play, get the 80 damage, spread enough damage with the Monkey Dories, get 2 of these Zoroarks off of the board, and then maybe clean up on a final one. But even then, one single Turo is enough to just set you all the way back and have a 2-prize knockout right in your face.
Trade. Getting through the deck. Got me feeling like it's 2018 out here. Liam with so many cards, so many options. Literally everything in his deck seems like it's available right now.
Robin Schultz and Tor just applauding as loud as possible.
So it is kind of interesting of how Liam wants to approach things here. I think he'd like to... Oh, he's actually going to pick up the Monkey Dory with the Professor Turo and just get the energy attached over to another Zoroark. He's just going to be content to play this waiting game even longer, Kyle.
This is the most unique way to play this match. I promise you, I could not in a million years consider taking the Monkey Dory off the board with the Turo.
And Liam is just not pressured to do anything. Like, he is fine to wait here as long as Rahul wants to let him wait here.
Yep. Well, we've been waiting for this moment. This is something that you and I were thinking about as the game was progressing. There may have been an error that occurred earlier in this set between these players that I think they want to investigate. So we'll have the judges have a quick pause right now.
Yeah, it looks like something's been seen from a previous game. Judges are having a talk. Looks like backstage as well that some of our backstage judges are taking a look at things, and we're going to get a official wording figured out of exactly what's going on so we can keep everyone else in the loop.
But, I mean, as far as what we've seen from both these players, what an interesting game of Pokemon. It is wild to think that this is where we're at. A full setup from both players, and 20 damage is optimal for the whole rest of this game.
I've heard someone say once that the Pokemon TCG at the high level is just a game of who can be more careful. And that's what Liam is doing here. He's being as careful as possible. Sure, he could use the Turo and start attacking, and he would probably win the game. But why risk it? You know, just take it slow, pace yourself. You're not feeling pressured at all. Wait until you have the perfect setup and then pounce. Yeah,
and that's a strategy that's worked out well for him. It allows him to play as fast as he does because he buys additional turns with that strategy, and just being optimal, it means that you're going to have more chances to come up with a strategy that works. And you're drawing so many cards a turn. You will trade, fill this hand up. There's no way to slow it down. Iono, he can continue to build right back up, and he will have enough resources to come up with a great solution.
Well, as we're waiting to get this ruling and waiting for the end of this game, we got to give props to both these players for their excellent start so far, but 7-0 coming into this. It's got to feel like Liam's going to lock this one down and move to 8-0 with Zoroark. I don't want to put too much of a curse out there just in case, but it's looking pretty good for him right now.
Yes, it's a very favorable matchup. Unfortunate for Rahul to run into this, and if what we saw was the case in the rest of this game, Rahul might be looking at an issue here as well.
Yeah, it looks like it is an issue from something that happened with Rahul's turn. We've got one of our head judges on stage now, kind of conveying the information. So what do you think of the Zoroark as a choice of deck for this tournament coming into this thing, especially the build that Liam has got?
I mean, you start to consider as far as like matchups that can be difficult. Golden Go, if you don't have the Toad Scroll, but you have that card lined up so that you can solve that matchup. Other than that, what other decks are really leaning into one-hit KOs against you? The two most prominent decks are the Dragapults and the Gardevoirs, which clearly you have a response for both of those decks. So it seems like on paper you have some fairly good matchups. My problem is just inherently with the deck. You have one attacker. It's
You don't like having your options limited.
right. I want 100 options. I want
Hey, you can copy Scratch with Night Joker. That's another option.
Thanks, thank you. You know how many times I've watched this deck copy ends Darumaka for
50 damage? Yeah.
Like, at least you had that option back in the day. This list, you have nothing, but it seems like it is the right way to use this.
Yeah, so it looks like our head judge is giving out the ruling here, and it does sound like there was an issue with a previous game where Rahul took 2 tool cards from his secret box. You're only allowed to take 1. Bit of a misstep there on Rahul's side.
So it's not like Irida where you can just get 2 of whatever you want?
No, well, come on, man. And so it does sound like there is going to be the judge ruling here, and we'll get perfect words. It does sound like Rahul is going to receive a game loss for the situation.
If there were ever a time to receive that game loss, I think it's in this matchup. It's okay.
Yeah.
It was clearly just an accident that happened there. He went in with the secret box, just went to go find some resources and get the job done. He's already staring down a really good matchup with the Fezidipity energy pass if it was in that game, and he's just looking to get over to game 3.
I think that was the game where it happened because things just moved so quickly. Liam conceded pretty quickly after that turn. So yeah, I think that the word has been given to both of our players. I think they're both showing the clip as well. So that's one of the things with it being on stream here. We got the video evidence. We got the proof. It did happen. There's no disputing it.
You want to call the head judge? No, I'm good.
I can see that
I think it happened.
So unfortunate for sure, and that's something that we'll be tracked through the rest of the event. If there's ever any other sort of it could lead to further escalations, right? If there's other game players on Rahul's end future in the event, but it does seem like Liam's gonna come away with a victory here and move to 8-0 with Zoroark EX heading out of phase 1.
Yep, this is a deck that a lot of players feel like is the best deck in the room. It's just giving yourself options, drawing a lot of cards, and seeing matchups like this. If Gardevoird can be handled this simply, I feel like you want to take that into phase 2 because you know what you're going to see. On
Liam was probably pretty pumped to see the Gardevoird's the most popular deck in the room for this tournament. He made the right call.
And the Gardevoird players are worried about the mirror match. They don't care about you. They don't respect you, Liam. They don't care about that Seniors World Championship. They want to see the big ones. And he's over here working on it right now. He's already 8-0 here in phase 1. This is the deck you need to be worried about. I'm starting to understand it.
Yeah, you're starting to see the vision now.
Yes, yeah. It was way over there, but now it's in my face.
We got you some glasses.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Contacts, you got sorted out. Comes into full focus now. And yeah, let's remind everyone as well that this is going to be the last round of phase 1. 8 rounds of phase 1 today, but we're also going to have the first round of phase 2 happen tonight as well. All the players who got a 5-2-1 or better record will move from phase 1 into phase 2, and Swiss round 9 will still happen next.
Yeah, and that's going to be so exciting. This is something that's new to our game now, as we get to see that iteration of the phases. Saw a little bit of it earlier with our previous tournament in Europe. To have that example is cool to see, and I think it just adds like a little more excitement to the tournament itself. Of some players are going to be knocked out already, but they get to watch some of their favorite players or their friends now competing at the end of this day and watch them take all of that energy into the next day that we have.
It can be a real momentum builder because you've already gotten over one hump by just getting from phase 1 into phase 2, and now building on that momentum, you go get dinner with the crew, you get a good night's sleep, and you come back ready to go for 5 more Swiss rounds of phase 2. Definitely, it could be a good feeling.
Yeah, it's exciting to think about for some players like Liam. He's going to be 8-0 already, can take another Gardevoird matchup or whatever it may be. We can take a look at some of the decks that are potentially going to pop up and follow along with him as we see some of them.
Yeah, there were 2 other tables where there were 7-0 players. We had 6
wide array. So, viewers, pretty good reason for it.
Hello, Pokemon fans. Juancho Saldana here. And, the past week we've had 2 other regional championships. We had Monterey and Frankfurt. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a special interview for you here today. Someone who's